And we're following breaking news. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is still a free man after a scheduled check-in with ICE in Baltimore today. A federal judge granted a temporary restraining order this morning, barring the government from detaining him again. That judge released Abrego Garcia yesterday, saying he couldn't be held in an immigration detention center because he was never given an official removal order. Abrego Garcia spoke alongside a translator earlier this morning.
Y ahora estoy aquí de pie frente a ustedes. Y la lucha seguirá. Yo seguiré de pie, no le bajaré la cabeza a nadie. Siempre estaré de pie sobre todas las injusticias que ha hecho este gobierno.
Abrego Garcia was first deported to El Salvador in March. Despite a court order barring that, the Trump administration has repeatedly claimed he's a criminal MS-13 gang member, though he denies that. And now we're learning about a new removal order. ABC's Mola Lenghi is outside that office in Baltimore. Hi, Mola. What's the latest here?
Well, yeah, hi, Diane. Garcia is a free man going home, at least for now. Garcia was here at this federal building in Baltimore this morning, checking in to the ICE office just hours, really, after he was released from jail Thursday when a judge ruled that the Trump administration had detained him, as his attorney characterized it, without lawful authority. There was concern among his supporters that during this check-in at the federal building here this morning that he would be re-detained by immigration officials. But as Abrego Garcia walked into the building here in Baltimore, a judge granting his attorneys a temporary restraining order, banning the government essentially from re-detaining him, if you will, at least for now. You might remember back in March, he was deported to El Salvador after the Trump administration claimed that he was a member of the MS-13 gang. He was brought back to the U.S. in June to face human smuggling charges in Tennessee, charges to which he has pled not guilty to. He was then released to the custody of his brother, who lives here in Maryland, pending the trial for those Tennessee charges. But again, he was detained by immigration authorities and held in a detention facility in Pennsylvania. Last month, the federal government sought to deport him to the West African nation of Liberia. A U.S. court ruled yesterday that the government did not have a removal order for Garcia, which blocks them from deporting him, at least at this juncture, is the way that they characterize that. Abrego coming out this morning telling the 40 or 50 supporters who had gathered here outside the building today that he believes this is a country of laws, and he hopes that this, quote, injustice done to him will come to an end. Diane.
And Mola, documents obtained by ABC show an immigration judge has apparently added a removal order to his immigration records. What more do we know about that? And does that lay the groundwork now for another potential deportation?
Well, potentially, Diane. Yeah, a judge added that order saying that it was needed in order to correct what was essentially an administrative error from a court order back in 2019. And as that judge put it, that order did not include a removal order, but it should have, according to that judge. And by adding that removal order, as you mentioned, it does potentially lay the groundwork for a future deportation of Garcia, which is why his attorneys were really concerned this morning that he may be re-detained. But again, a judge granting that temporary restraining order, preventing any of that from happening. But again, that is a temporary order, Diane.
So, Mullah, what happens next here?
Well, the legal fight far from over. The restraining order that we just mentioned that was granted to Garcia, that is temporary. The judge who approved that, setting a scheduling hearing that will sort of allow that to play out. So that we are expecting to find out a little more about what that hearing, when that hearing will be in the next couple of days. And of course, the Justice Department is expected to appeal yesterday's ruling that ultimately led to Garcia's release. So the legal aspect of this far from over, Diane.
Well, Lenghi, thank you.